All right. Good evening. Welcome to the spin. June 19th. Tyler will be here shortly, maybe. Got here in the middle, John Young, JY Barbell, and a special guest, Mayhem athlete, and soon to be two-time CrossFit Games athlete, Luke Parker. How are you, man?
Whoa. 3 times. You can't count team? We don't count team?
We don't count team here.
John,
Absolutely not.
Do we count team, John?
We care zero about team. That's why that's why DeChico loves me.
Man.
Yeah.
Those are fighting words of mayhem.
Hey, you're a veteran now. How does that feel?
It feels good. Feels really good.
Yeah. We teams are there, but
nice. There we go.
What up, Luke?
We're gonna put you on the big
What's up,
screen.
brother?
Tyler, welcome. Thanks for joining a few minutes late. Appreciate it.
Trying.
Luke, first, congratulations for you and your wife expecting your first baby.
Son. That's a big deal.
Son.
Oh,
wow. There you go.
The partner name lives on.
Did you do a big gender reveal?
So it's actually kind of funny. So let me tell you a quick story. This is kind of funny. We decided not to find out. And we go to our third ultrasound, and the nurse is like, hey, or let me back up. So I tell the nurse as soon as she walks in, I'm like, hey, we don't want to know the gender and everything. And she's like, yeah. Like, we're actually not allowed to tell or talk about it. Anyway, long story short, she goes on to talk about how for boys and girls, the lungs are the last thing to develop. And then she says something along the lines of like, yeah, your child, just like my son, had their lungs like the last thing to develop, and yours right now are like really far behind, and this and that. And then she said something like, boys' lungs are always the last thing to develop, like more so than girls. And my wife looks at me and she's like, did she just like subconsciously insinuate that we have a boy? And my wife did not like that. Anyway, we got home later that night, and my wife's like, I don't feel good about this. I feel like she might have like subconsciously insinuated and kind of like hinted that we're having a boy. Let's have a gender reveal. And then anyway, the funny part of the story is that ultrasound, I saw at one point like a hand, perfect like shape of a hand, and I was like freaking out. And I told my wife, I was like, I swear I saw my hand. I was like, we either have for sure a boy or a girl that has my hands. Because I saw like, I know it's a tiny like zoomed in picture of a tiny child, but I saw developed thumb meat on the ultrasound.
Right, that's a man's hand.
That's a boy.
Man's hand right there.
Exactly.
Anyway, so did you finally ask her or ask them if or I guess you did the gender reveal, right? So
well, yeah. Sorry, to answer your question, yes, we did a gender reveal. We blew like the little confetti cannons, and they were blue, and that's a victory.
Awesome. And so he is due when? And you said sometime in August, right?
2 weeks after the games, which is crazy because my wife works for Mayhem, and she plans on working media. And we're joking around. We're like, man, your water is going to break, and we're going to have a child in the bleachers. Like, it's not like you guys know. I mean, obviously, first child usually is on time or later, but it's not uncommon to be 1 or 2 weeks early, and we're due literally 2 weeks after the games. So,
yeah, that's
really good timing.
Yeah, right after.
We tried planning that, but we'll see if the timing works out.
Luke looks like John's handsome brother.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that.
It's probably the nicest thing the comments have ever said about you.
I guess.
I want to back up though, Luke. Like last year, you make it to the games as individual, and I think I talked to you maybe Wadapalooza of 23. And you were, that was kind of when you voiced that you wanted to go individual, I think, and really kind of test yourself. As you think about your experience last year at the games, what did you learn from that experience that's gotten you to this point where I think you're probably in a better position?
I'm trying to think of how deep I want to go with this. First of all, thank you. I appreciate it. It does feel good to be able to go back to the games. I'll say this. Obviously, rookie season, there's no expectations, right? I just went in there like a rookie and went full send. But all in all, I tried my best to mimic Rich because I feel like he competed and did things the right way, especially being on podcasts and voicing his opinion on things. And one thing that I really admire that he did is I even witnessed it. His last 2 gold medals on team. He went through so many injuries, like things that I don't think people would be able to comprehend. And he never talked about any of them. So I don't want to go on here and start complaining about different tweaks and injuries and stuff. But, I was beat up my first CrossFit Games. I had many little nagging things that I was dealing with, before every event, taping my ankle because I'd rolled it, leading up to the games multiple times. And not to mention I got stitches on after the first event. So 30 minutes before flipping the heavy pig and doing 100 wall balls, I had stitches in my knee, and I was just hoping the glue the stitches wouldn't pop. I was just out there just trying to survive and give all that I had. And leading up, I think similarly to Medeiros, like I know everyone kind of expected him to do well. Obviously, he's a 2-time champ, and similarly to him, just like fitness, strength, nothing was peaked. I was just trying to get healthy because I was overtrained, beat up, trying to deal with injuries. So all in all, I was happy with how I competed dealing with all that stuff to take 28th place last year. And that's the big thing. So to specifically answer your question, I think that's the biggest thing going into this year in this games, as I like to call my sophomore season, is, my biggest goal is to be healthy. I know I'm fit. I'm the fittest, strongest I've ever been in my life overall. And if I can maintain health and not even worry so much about peaking my fitness, which is going to happen anyway, because right now, this time of year, volume and intensity are at all high. And I'm just working really a lot with my coach as far as communication and mixing in with the Mayhem guys. And we have a PT that works literally inside of the gym, the box, CrossFit Mayhem, and working with him literally daily on multiple body parts, making sure I'm put together and as healthy as possible. So I think all in all, that's the biggest thing I'm excited for, is just to be healthy and compete healthy, which obviously is no one out on the floor, respectively, no one is truly 100%. But that's my big goal, is to be as close to that as possible.
Would you say that's going to affect how you taper or just training in general?
That's a good question. I would say it's not totally going to affect how I taper. I, more so than most athletes, will taper a little bit more, take probably a couple extra days off leading up to the actual competition. But all in all, volume will still stay high. The only difference is, if I tweak something in the past, I would just train through it and not care. And if I had to, I would just start popping more
ibuprofen,
all the anti-inflammatories known to man, and just suck it up and, whatever, rub some dirt on it. But now I'm all right, I can't do that anymore. I'm going to show up and, not be able to perform.
How much was it playing in the back of your head, to break into that sophomore season? I think is there's a bunch of one and dones. Were you freaking out I might not make it this year? I might be one and done. Was that ever a thought in your brain, or were you no, I'm going? I gotta do the work.
I think as soon as he saw the events, he knew he was going.
Bingo. I was actually, the weekend the events came out. Well, they got leaked early. Who knows what actually happened? But you guys are tracking. I remember sitting. This is funny. This might be a little TMI, but I'm literally sitting on the toilet in a hotel room, and I'm on Instagram, and I was like, "What? These are the workouts?" Freaking out in a hotel at First Form headquarters, which is my main sponsor in St. Louis. And I'm competing in this outdoor games thing, which is kind of like tactical games. It's archery and fitness involved. And first place was 10 grand. So I'm man, I got to stay focused on this. I got to trying to stay focused on this little archery thing. And I remember looking at the workouts, and John hit the nail on the head. Like, I saw those, and I was like, yep, I'm going to the games. It's just a matter of time.
What?
And,
go ahead.
well, yeah, I just want to complete that thought. I thought it was very interesting. So to answer the question, like, no, I didn't have a doubt I was going to the games. And that's part of my story and what I try to voice ultimately. And I feel like I just have to kind of echo that is, yeah, similarly to most athletes, yeah, I want to inspire people. But it's a little deeper than that. Like, I want to inspire people to be the best version of themselves, but also inspire them to get to know God, their creator. And I truly believe like he's called me to this community to compete and use my platform and voice that and voice what I believe in. And at the end of the day, it's like, if God doesn't want me to qualify, I'm not going to. But if he does, there's nothing that anybody can do to get in the way of that. And I believe that. And I won't lie, with the workouts being in my favor, I thought my goal was to come. Obviously, I want to win everything I compete in, but my goal is to come top 5. And I thought for sure I had top 7 in me. And there was many events that did not go my way at all. Not to mention one of them, which I thought I was going to win, was the last one.
Yeah, I picked you for that one, Luke.
Everyone thought I was a psycho, like doing the calories in like 27, 28 seconds. And I'm like, dude, don't worry. I trained this in training and did it in 23 seconds, and I was fine, going unbroken. And then all of a sudden, you guys know this, no matter how you feel in training, when you get on the floor, you can't replicate the intensity, and you can't replicate how your body's truly going to feel out on the floor, all the nerves, all the emotions, all the, like I said, intensity, soreness, and all that. And dude, when I tried to pick up those dumbbells, my hands and my forearms were not working. I was like, oh no. And it kind of crossed my mind a little. I was like, I may not make it. I remember looking at the clock and doing math, and I was just staring at the dumbbells. And I remember like literally just talking to God, like, hey, I believe this is why you've called me here. And I know that pretty soon, if I don't pick these dumbbells up and walk them to that finish line as fast as I can, I'm not going to make it. So will you help me? And then sure enough, picked them up and made it to the finish line, which was funny to me because there's 6 lines. I was stopped at the second one. So just to go unbroken those next 4 with how my forearms felt, honestly, I was happy with that. Although my goal was like a 2:10 time, and I think I got like 3:10.
Yeah, you're lucky you were so far ahead of everybody because you had time to. God said, "Chill 10 seconds, Luke, and then you'll be fine. Just chill, 10 seconds. You got it."
Yeah, let those forearms flush, bro.
I want to go back real quick, Dick Butter. Did you win the 10K archery competition?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
That was actually a really good question. That was fueled my fire going into semis. I came in second place by 21 seconds, and total time for each workout was also based on like how close you were to the bullseye. So like add, 10,
a second of
15, 20 seconds, or even a minute if you missed the target. So yeah, like what you're saying. And anyway, 21 seconds to second place. And then I laughed with some friends, even my buddy who won the thing, who was competing against me, who won the 10K. I was like, man, it feels good to be 21 seconds on the other side now at semifinals, because it literally was probably 21 seconds.
The person that you held out from going, Seth, another Mayhem athlete.
I was going to say Tyler's favorite athlete.
No, we won't go there. Like how was like that between, obviously there's a bunch of Mayhem athletes, there's other guys at camps that, compete against each other, but for you to be the last one in, Seth to be the last one out, first one out, how does that dynamic go between the two of you guys?
So I have a really good relationship with all the Mayhem guys. Like, in my opinion, I really thought Tyler was going to qualify there at the end. But also, I thought a lot of things were going to happen different. Like, I thought I was going to place way better. I also didn't think Alexander Caron was going to do as good as he did. But who am I to doubt him and his abilities? Like, the kid's shown that he's an absolute stud. He's just got to stay healthy, right?
He came real clutch in the last event too.
Oh,
he made it happen.
Like, it's poetic too, given the whole muscle up thing.
Literally, so poetic. Yeah, that was beautiful for him. I just didn't think, honestly, he was going to even make it to the floor to compete. I thought his pec or something. I mean, you just never know with him,
Yeah. But he's always hurt. You can say it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But I mean, honestly, I was more so thinking of Dre and Tyler, because I thought for sure that they're going to come with me and the rest of the Mayhem boys and qualify. Seth came out of nowhere there at the end. I was really proud of him. I thought he was going to be right around the cut line. So for him to come, 15 points from me from the cut line and actually qualifying for his rookie season is about what I thought was going to happen. But what's really scary for other athletes, and they don't know this, is like, dude, that's just fuel to this kid's fire. He knows he's young. He knows he has time, and he knows his potential now. He's been seeing it. Not to mention he's been getting a lot of help from Rich and some of these other guys like me just in his ear, encouraging him and challenging him. And it's like, man, that kid's going to be a freak in a couple of years, because he's got his nose to this grindstone, and he's just not worried about anyone else and doesn't even care. And he knows, like I said, he's got time. But yeah,
he seems very level-headed for a kid his age too. Like just steady, rock steady. He was always, anytime I would pass him in the hall or wherever, I passed him like in the garage going back and forth. Yeah. He was always like in a good mood. And I was like, this is wild. Like you couldn't find any of the other athletes, and he was just goofing around somewhere.
Which I don't even know that I've told him this yet. I mean, I've like, pat him on the butt a couple of times and said I was proud of him and his effort, and he knows. Obviously, he finished strong, but that was I think the number one thing that I was most proud of him was last year in Orlando for the American East. Man, after I think it was which one was it? Linda, that was the bench one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm not very good. With
90 pound dumbbells.
Yes. So Linda, he does that and thinks he's gonna destroy it, and it destroyed him, which we've all been there, right? And it really broke him mentally, and it kind of bled into the other workouts, because there were some other really good workouts for him, and he ended up making a couple mistakes on the rope climb one, just like Austin Hatfield that year. And yeah, and it kind of got to him mentally and affected his performance. And I didn't see a lick of that at all out there this year here in Knoxville. And I was most proud of him with that, because I know he still had some events that he thought he was going to do better and didn't execute as good as he wanted to, and didn't care, and just was like, all right, bring on the next one. So, I mean, you guys know that's how anyone's going to do well. Like part of the sport, yeah, you got to be fit. Yeah, you got to obviously be gifted, but so much of it's mental. Like you just got to be a mental juggernaut and not care. Like flush the crap down the toilet. Who cares? Go on to the next one. Give everything you have. Fight for every point.
Yeah. You posted maybe once or twice. You probably didn't make much of a big deal on social media, but I noticed in April you went to Israel.
Yes.
In the middle of a season, and obviously your Instagram bio says faithful over famous. Can you kind of talk about what made you go out there and what you did out there in Israel?
Yeah, I got a really good buddy of mine who's he's been just challenging me a lot in my faith, and through him, he gave me an opportunity through some friends who are now my friends. I would even consider them brothers, although I went to literally Israel for 3 days, which is crazy to say. But yeah, long story short, I was just in a season of praying, and at the end of the day, God can literally use this prayer in any way. It could be through a workout. I was just praying something as simple as God, help me grow in my faith and challenge me, and just praying things along those lines and some other things. But for the sake of time and details, I just asked God to challenge me. And he presented me with a trip to Israel, which was a fully paid for trip, fully expense paid, hotel, lodging, travel.
You can't say no to that.
Yeah, first class. I mean, if we really break down the numbers, it was about 15 grand or more of a once in a lifetime trip to a country I've always wanted to go. And it's a weekend before, or a week before quarters. And I'm like, well, the open didn't go very well for me. I know I wasn't trying to peak for it and training through it, but man, I told my friend, I was like, I can't go. And then I was like, let me pray about it. I talked to him later. I was like, you know what? I have to go. I probably never get this opportunity again. And man, I'm so glad I went. It was truly life-changing. Quick little testimonial about it. I think this is kind of cool. I was kind of nervous, but also I know I've been asking God to challenge me and help me grow my faith. And that's part of it, right? No, I'm going to come back and just smoke quarterfinals and just be myself out there. I literally show up to this hotel in Jerusalem in the like holy city, and in the hotel fitness room, which I don't know about you guys, but every time I travel, I go to the hotel fitness room, even if I'm gonna like flush and stretch, but like usually get after it. I'm sure you guys do as well.
Yep.
Like take advantage of the fitness room. I've never in my entire life been to a hotel fitness room that has had like a rogue, like 20 by 24 by 30, just
box.
like CrossFit Dimensions box. And I've never seen one that has a stair stepper. And for
They
whatever
knew you were
reason,
coming.
right? So for whatever reason, I say whatever reason, but I know the reason. Those two machines are in the fitness room. They have like a Smith machine, a ton of dumbbells, a place for double unders, and these little mats. It's like honestly the perfect little setup. And my coach, if I found a CrossFit gym, gave me 2 workouts that both had a box and a stair stepper, which is like something that I never get programmed. And I was like, time out. Are you kidding me? Come on.
What if that friend like secretly told him, "Hey guys, I need to put those 2 things in here just for these 3 days." Don't tell nobody.
I'll add a quick story in there. I think it's pretty cool. We had a security detail, and our like personal bodyguard and our little group of like 5-6 guys is like kind of like a celebrity like security detail. He's like ex-Israeli Special Forces, and he like whenever Donald Trump or Leonardo DiCaprio visited Israel, like he was the guy that was his bodyguard. Anyway, he shows up and he's like, "Time out, you're Luke Parker?" Because he had no idea who he was like, being security for. And he's like, "Dude, I'm a Mayhem fan." And he like comes to the fitness room and works out with us. And he has a CrossFit Mayhem shirt. And I'm like, we don't even ship to Israel. Like, how did you get that, bro? And it was, dude, that was pretty cool. And then we ended up dropping in a random like gym out there, and I got to like talk to the class, and there's some like Mayhem fans. I'm like, how is this even possible? But that was really neat.
That's awesome.
That
man.
is awesome.
Well, I want to let you get going. Really appreciate you stopping by. Good luck in your second individual appearance, 3rd time at the games.
Thank you.
So
I do have one quick question before you guys go.
Yep.
Are you guys are all going to be in Texas at the games, right?
We are.
All right.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you guys.
Absolutely, man. Yep.
Feel free to come by the RV.
Yeah.
Come on.
Have an RV park. I'll be out there right in the middle of it.
If you got a recliner, I'm down.
we may even do a show out there. Who knows?
Awesome.
So yeah. Good luck out there, and we'll see you out there on the Dickies Arena floor.
Sounds good.
Luke.
See you, Luke.
See
ya.
Bye.
Thanks for correcting me on that. I totally forgot that it was his 3rd season, not a sophomore.
Oh, he corrected me.
He corrected you.
I,
No, it's cool. We don't care about
we don't care about teams.
I don't know why I always. Oh well, yeah, it's teams.
It's you get credit for individual appearances. We don't give you credit for being a teenager. So
have I ever told y'all about like Luke, like what I thought of him when he first joined CrossFit or started CrossFit?
No, but I'm sure
I probably should have. I mean, I'm not gonna interrupt him when he's talking, but I probably should have said this with him on there. When The Bachelor came out, right? Or is it,
sure.
Whatever.
I've not seen one episode of it.
I haven't either. I saw this. It was a YouTube compilation, and I just felt like he got done dirty. I felt like they like whatever I watched on YouTube, like it made him out to be a villain. And I mean, it's a stupid show, but he genuinely was trying to save this girl from being what the
Falusi?
world, what what word do you want to put on it? and I was so on his team. I felt so bad for him, but he like they framed him to be such a bad guy, and what the world would think a bad guy is, because the world doesn't know. I mean, they would not perceive like what he's trying to do as a Christian guy trying to save this girl. Anyway. And then he goes like, I hear that he's going to try to do CrossFit. His next thing. Yeah, because they made him out to sound like that, Melanie. They made him out to sound like that. But anyway, he goes, I'm going to do CrossFit. I'm going to do CrossFit, and I'm going to try to make the CrossFit Games. And I was like, this dude ain't gonna make the CrossFit game. Like he thinks he's gonna do CrossFit. He has no idea the fitness required to be good at CrossFit. Like, and he just the way he was just like, I'm gonna try CrossFit out. I want to make the CrossFit Games, and then like I just laughed about it. I went on like a 30-minute rant to my wife of why he has no idea what it takes to be like good at CrossFit. And then he's really, really fit. He's really, really good. And I had no idea. And I was like, wow, that's good for him, man.
He's been
Good
training
for
a long time.
Yeah. All right. We're going to do some viewer comments, but first, Kenneth DeLapp, no response to Clydesdale, John.
we can respond. So I gave Clydesdale, I guess, a backhanded compliment or a front-handed insult. however you want to word it. I gave him something.
Front-handed insult. That's just a slap to the face.
I said that I was trying to compliment him by bringing him up and saying he called something that most people didn't. But
people need to realize a John Young compliment usually starts off with a little bit of vinegar, but that's okay. It just makes the sweetness on the other side so much sweeter.
That's right. It's right. You can ask any of my athletes. I do them the same way. Anyway,
that was a good attempt.
What I was trying to reference was that he said Saxon had it, other than Adler, he said Saxon had the best shot at winning the semifinal. And I thought that was ludicrous when he said it. On our show, I said he thinks Saxon is going to win the games. Two completely very different things. But that was where it was coming from. And then, like, I misquoted him out of context. And I apologize for that because I've been misquoted out of context a lot. And he's one of them. Go ahead and ask Miss Prevo. You don't believe me, sir. Anyway, other than that, I'm sorry for taking your thing out of context. That's what he said. He said Saxon had a good shot to win the semifinals other than Adler, which I still think is not a great opinion. But sometimes we say dumb things, man. Brian said 3 minutes in the snatch workout. I said 300 reps in the quarterfinal workout. Like, it's okay to
That's
be
a little
wrong.
different.
But what I'm saying is, like, we all say idiotic things. Like Saxon,
and that's why
shot to win the semifinal. All right,
that's why I don't think you should apologize.
I definitely misquoted him though. No, because he says Saxon to win the games. He's never said that. Like I definitely misquoted him. I do have a problem with the other stuff that they said though. Like they got a problem with our text group. I think the people in that text group.
What text group?
The people in that text thread, the locker room, okay, has done more for CrossFit Media than anyone in the last couple years combined, than HQ in the last 5 years combined. That thread has done more for CrossFit Media, and I don't think anybody can argue that.
We've put out more media than CrossFit's YouTube channel lately.
All right, so don't take a shot at the group. Okay, like I don't think that's the beef that you want. We're on the same team. Right? We're on the same team. Clydesdale puts out a lot of stuff. And I applaud him for it. Their whole team puts out a lot of stuff. And we don't need to fight. I don't know why you're trying to fight because we're all on the same team. Just because I got my group and you got your group doesn't mean you have to be mean to my group.
There was a weird thing like where he was like, you guys have your little group or whatever. Like we think it's like the coolest thing. It's like
we don't think we're superior. And
we're probably in that group because we're all losers.
We don't think we're superior, but then you go and say, listen, other than y'all, more other people can be right. You're absolutely right, but the problem is nobody's been better than me at picking people.
Here we go.
If we would have you would have bring up Heat 1 and say I deserve credit. I went ahead and looked at your average placement on the Heat 1 app through all the regions, okay? He was 318th, barely better than Tyler.
And we all know I'm playing a made up
and I didn't take the East. If we took the East, he's down there with Halpin and Hiller. But well, I don't think he played the East. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like because you didn't play every region. You didn't play. I didn't take all your regions either. Don't
Asia doesn't count.
Hey, I nailed Asia. That was my best region.
What I'm saying, like, I'm bringing you up. It's not the first time that I brought you up. I feel like, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like I try to give people credit when they are right.
No,
you are wrong.
Good at that. When I've proved you wrong, you've been like, sorry.
You pay everybody $1 that beats you.
I give everybody $1 that beats me. I freaking said
request $1,
Brian Friend, who's probably my biggest rival as far as the picking game. I told the world he beat me. No, listen, Will Brandstetter just has the title. Listen, I can't beat Will at Wadapalooza. If we're gonna go Wadapalooza, Will is the king. I can't beat him. But at Wadapalooza, I will. Yeah, for sure. But I feel like I try to give people credit. I said Brian beat me in North America West, and he's the first guy to beat me, and he's my big. And I said that to the world. Why would I give Brian credit if I had this like group that I think we're right and nobody else is right? I do think I'm right more than everybody else, percentage wise. But I don't feel like I'm the guy that doesn't give anybody else credit. And I felt offense with that statement. I don't feel offense by saying like I've said idiotic things and I've misquoted you. I apologize for that. Totally did. But the other stuff, the group is fine. Leave the group alone. And I don't think you want to make an enemy out of the group. I really, really don't. I don't. Listen, we are on the same team. We all hate HQ. HQ can't let anybody do media.
I love HQ. John's entitled to his own opinions on this, and they do not reflect mine.
Tyler said before we went live that HQ was retarded. Okay, I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying we all hate HQ media. Refer to Hiller's latest video. It's trash. We're on the same team. I misquoted you. My bad. And then don't talk about nobody's right except you guys. If you want to bring that up, then beat me. And when you beat me, I'll give you your flowers. But you've never beaten me. And then is there anything else that he said?
If I misquote anybody, I'm going to say right now, 50% facts about everything I say. I don't really give a shit. That's on you if you get bothered, that's on you.
Yeah. And listen, we're idiots on the internet. Like that goes
to the whole job.
Yeah.
Yeah. 52 weeks, 90 minutes plus a week.
We're going to say something dumb.
Right.
One thing I wanted to bring up, and then I need to quit talking bad when I meant to apologize. I meant to apologize, and then I ended up talking bad. Like the Hatfield thing. They said Jamie talked about Hatfield before anybody else.
Doubt it.
The second Hatfield was in that semifinal, and I saw him in that semifinal. Now listen, if you said Hatfield was going to make the games before that semifinal last year's, then you were his mom. You called it. You know more things than I do. Go you. You can ask JR. After that semifinal, I said Hatfield's the next thing coming. He's the next big thing coming. Not just making the games, the next big thing coming, and I haven't backed off of it. So you cannot say Jamie was the first one to Hatfield. I said that to JR the second he went to that semifinal and he got 11th, and that was his first competition ever. If you did say that before, go you. You're right. But I don't think you did. I think you think I heard of him after Crucible. You can ask JR. I was on the train.
No, you knew about him then.
And then, okay, last thing. Because he said a lot of things. He said a lot of things.
There's a list in front of John right now.
He says, no. He said, we care about the semifinalists. We actually care about the semifinalists, meaning we don't care. We don't care about the semifinal.
I can't wait.
You're absolutely right. I don't care about people that don't matter. Okay, if you're not making the games or in the running to make the games, top 20 in the semifinals, I don't care about you at all. You're not worthy of caring about. Get better. Get fitter. Okay? If this is your goal to make the games, I'm not going to talk about you if you're not close to making the games. Now, you know who will talk to you? Clydesdale. And they're better at it. They know the semifinal.
And that's not a problem.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
All of us don't have the time or energy. If we find out you're going to hit a home run on something, we're going to interview on. Besides that, we don't have the time. Like both Spin and I have full-time jobs, and I already don't know how Spin does what he does. And then John coaches all day. Not to talk about the rest of the group. It's great that you cover the lower tier athletes.
Now,
we're
I'm
happy
glad
about
that you
that.
do, because
But
they
don't
would never
hold it over us like it's some kind of fucking crown. No, thank you. That was the shitty part about that. I'm okay with you covering them, but don't hold it over us. Don't act like you're better because you cover them.
I promise. I don't think I'm better because I am the best analyst and I'm right more than everybody else. I do not think I'm better because of it. I just think it's the truth. And until somebody beats me, it is the truth. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Yep. You gotta beat John.
Now, and I'm so happy, like Tyler said, I'm so happy that you interviewed those people, because you're the only people giving those people the time of day. You were the only ones
for us.
And no, stop it.
No. What I'm saying is I can then go watch his thing, so I don't have to search anymore.
Yeah, because we don't know anything about them. We don't know anything about them, and y'all do. And like, I'm so happy that you guys do that. I hope you continue to do that, because I'm not going to. I don't care about those people. And they do, they're still people. They want to talk to people. They want to let people know that they're good at something.
John would be the first to say no to this question.
No, Travis. Okay, Travis. If in 2 years, I keep extending it because I got to get my notebook. I keep not getting close, so I have to extend the timeline. If in 2 years I make the semifinals and I'm bottom tier, bottom 10 guy that can lift the weights and can't do anything else, I'm going to tell the world I don't matter. I am trash. It is a blessing. I get to be here, and I'm getting the weights. I'm getting the field warm for Patrick Melner, for Justin Medeiros. I'm getting the field warm for them. They are awesome. I'm just glad I made it. I can say that I'm pretty darn fit. I am not on their level. I don't matter. All right. I'm there for comedic relief. And then on the weightlifting event, I got the time to beat that will probably still get beaten. Right? That's me. I'm Heat one guy. Right?
Yes.
Mr. Heat 1. We'll put you on the logo, John.
In the analytical world and the CrossFit world.
Right.
Okay. Sorry for the rant. I hope you took the apology sincere, not in the other stuff. I didn't talk badly.
All right. We are going to move on.
All right. This part.
I give you 5 minutes, John. You win.
No. I'm sorry. I put a lot of thought in my events. I hope you guys did. I put a lot.
Of
thought,
I promise.
Lot into it.
I do. I want to read some viewer comments real quick, because we can't let our viewers down that do spend the time to comment. So again, comment down below. You may get read next week. At Samurai 3 Steve. On the previous show with Austin Hatfield, you more or less crowned him as the Rookie of the Year. In looking at his build and semifinal finishes, it seems as he is, Chris Ibarra and Jack Rosema are all similar athletes. What is your basis for picking him above the other two? John?
First off, Chris Ibarra and Jack Rosema are nowhere similar to Austin Hatfield. I don't think they're similar to each other. I think all three of them
anthropometrically, aren't they? Jack is big. He feels bigger.
Jack looks like me in person. He's like a thick, normal, average height guy.
Austin presents shorter.
Austin's 5'8", 5'7", 5'8".
Depends on if you believe the tape or not.
Yeah. And then Chris is the same. He's on the shorter side, 5'8", right? I mean, I think they're all within 2 inches on height, but their shape is different. Chris is a littler guy. He's a gymnastics guy.
He's a shredded mess.
Gymnastics cardio guy. Jack is I mean, I feel like Jack is built like me. He's very thick.
He is thick.
And then Austin, Austin looks like, Matt Fraser.
He does.
I would say a less cut Matt Fraser. Like Matt Fraser let himself go a little bit, and then that's Austin Hatfield.
I think he's actually
Matt Fraser.
Yeah.
No, 2023 Matt Fraser got skinny. He went the other way. 2023 Matt Fraser looks like he contracted AIDS, and I don't know how he got so small. Dude, he's so small. He's so.
He also had
small.
knee surgery, so it might be something to do with it.
Nope, AIDS.
So wait. There's what they say that they're similar athletes.
Yeah, why would you?
Why did we pick him?
Hatfield as
So Hatfield is the best
Rookie of the
runner. I think Hatfield is the strongest in max outs. I think Hatfield he's got gymnastics strengths, which I know Chris does too, but I know Hatfield's amazing on his hands. There's just traits that I see in champions, like the things that Rich is the best at, the things that Matt is the best at. Austin's really good at those things.
I think you're giving a really complicated answer. He got higher in the best region. Chris Ibarra was in the West. That's a much weaker region. Yeah, they have great athletes at the top, but it's not as dense. And then Jack was in the same field and did worse.
He did better. Jack did better.
Than Austin?
Ibarra.
Yeah. No, Jack was like 5th and Austin was like 7th.
Overall?
Jack was 6th and Austin was 8th. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm wrong. 50% facts.
No. What I'm saying is I think Hatfield will do better at the games.
I also agree.
Those guys, which is why I said he's the best one. Even though Jack did better. Jack had a better semifinal. Jack came out of nowhere, man. Jack was the most improved, I would say.
This could be a bet we could put up. Will Jack do better?
And then Chris is a worse Justin Medeiros.
It showed in semifinals.
Backhanded compliment.
That's not backhanded compliment. Justin Medeiros is a games champion.
You said worse.
He is a worse Justin Medeiros, dude. Justin Medeiros won.
No, I agree. It's just the phrasing of it.
That is the biggest compliment anybody could give. You're a worse Justin Medeiros.
You're like Justin Medeiros, but worse.
Yeah, dude,
it just sounds bad.
We're going to touch on this a little bit later at the very end, Heat 1 World Cup, but I think you might have touched on something, Tyler. First, at Kathy Stan, in regards to dominance, I think it's a country bias. As an Aussie, I want Tia to win everything. I want Ricky to win so desperately it hurts my soul. I couldn't give a shit about Matt or Rich, but if there is an Aussie male dominating, I would have cheered for it. And at Fiona Lambrick, Tia will always be an Aussie. So stay tuned. Heat 1 World Cup. If you watch the press conference number 3, you know what we're talking about. We'll preview it later in the show. I'm going to end with this one at Eric Torvinian. Who cares what y'all think about between Tia and Laura? Let's ask the real question. Where does Caitlin Clark place at the games?
Dead last. Caitlin Clark couldn't lift one of the weights.
Or lick one of the weights.
Couldn't do either. Either way, 40th place.
She might
withdraws after the first event. She does not do the minimum work requirement on the first event. Yeah.
Every single workout. Unless we bring back a ball toss all of a sudden. And even then.
You might like a high jump. Like who could touch the highest? That's not even a real event, but who could touch the highest?
Man, that would be cool. We've never done that either.
Just like straight up. I mean, the tall guys have such. I mean, that's just.
Yeah.
Hey,
but
we'll give an event to the tall guys.
Not like a max, but a max touch for you. A vert test would be so cool,
dude. A vert test would be awesome.
I don't think we'll see any single modalities.
No, I don't either. But I think it would be really cool if they just did a freaking NFL combine. And then each thing was worth 20 points, and your total score is how you rank out of everybody. Mm-hmm. It's one event, and then it's just the NFL combine. Together. It's just the NFL combine. We could see everybody's 40-yard dash. We could see everybody's bench press 225. 155. Oh, that's
Now,
what you got.
You know Tyler. You know Tyler likes that type of stuff.
Oh, I freaking love it, dude.
I think it would be really cool too.
We have the setup for it. I'm not saying it's gonna like. We'll just kind of segue on. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna be like. I think they might make a day of it. Like, we're all in there. Why not? Like, have a bunch of like 20 or 30 point scored events.
And listen, that is something you can be like, and for $20, you can do the combine too on this time at this day.
Like they did with the obstacle course that one year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You kidding me? We could make a whole barbell spin show about us doing the combine.
Oh man,
It'd be like Rich Eisen doing the 40-yard dash each year at the NFL Combine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's his face kicks the field goal now? Gronk.
Does he? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So it feels like we were onto something when we decided to make event predictions this week. CrossFit Games posted an Instagram post asking people what they were going to do. Pedro, Coffee Pods and Wads this afternoon, beyond the whiteboard, around the whiteboard. He asked the question to the contestants, what event do they want to see? And then JR is on Get With the Programming, I think, talking about 4 things that they want to see. And so it must be event week for the games. We have our own predictions.
We're getting hungry for anything.
Yeah. We still got 2 months out, man. Almost.
And listen, guys, hey, we basically told y'all the semifinal workouts ahead of time.
So stay tuned.
Where do those come from? Oh, our freaking text group. All right. Get out of here.
You got them early.
All right. And then we called the swim event. You're welcome. All right. Like
right.
When we
TBD on that, but we'll take the win.
So before I do that, I think we've talked about it a little bit before, but like moving to Dickies is going to be different than what we've seen before. I think several reasons, right? Like,
yeah, it's in Texas.
Reason number 1.
Yes, that's number
Brian
1.
hated that. He was so annoyed.
I don't even know what that means.
Sorry,
noted.
Brian.
Correct.
But like one field of play, we've always had multiple fields of play available, right? We had a big field, whether it was in Carson or in Madison, and we've had a Coliseum or tennis stadium, smaller footprint. We're now going to one field of play. We only have teams and individuals. It's a lot like semifinals type, bouncing back and forth. I think that plays into what we see programmed, right? Like you got Vendor Village, it's 300 meters away from Dickies at the Will Rogers Memorial Center. Like things are going to be different. Like you're not going to be walking back and forth from North Park to the Coliseum and passing through Vendor Village like you were. And I hope that they do something to encourage and give people opportunities to go out there and check that out. And so and I've been watching around and if you saw my video about Bailey Rail possibly on a demo team, Beck, Scott Tetlow looks like he was out there with Dave. So they're doing the testing. One thing I noticed first is if you look down here, there's a Rogue Strongman throwing bag. It says Rogue 80 on there. They don't sell a 80-pound bag like that on Rogue's website.
They're about to. And it's going to be $400.
And it's going to be
bag is not $400.
Dude, that's a great notice, man.
Yeah, good call.
Because right now all it is you can fill it up with 55 pounds of rubber, or sand. I think heavy sand is 55 pounds.
You think they'll throw it over a tall pull-up bar and then you just go up in weights the way they
they could do anything. Dave and Bailey carried it. They put it on their back and held onto the handle and put it on their back.
No, that sounds like
went up the hill.
Burden run.
The fact that he has it and that it was made specifically for Dave with weights on there leads me to believe that this was more than just.
Hopper's gonna eat this games up, man. If it's like old Castro programming.
And so, like, if he had Bailey and himself doing 80 pounds, that's probably the women's weight, right? There's probably 25 pound bag. That Rogue made special because if you actually zoom in on it, this thing is a little bit wider than what's being sold on Rogue. So this was a specially made bag for Dave. So first of all, I think that's going to be seen. Second of all, you've seen my reel on John asking Dave about swimming. And now the athletes have received an email telling them that Roka is the official eyewear and swimwear partner of the CrossFit Games. So you don't become a swimwear partner to not have swimwear featured in the CrossFit Games. So there will be swimming, and maybe one of our predictions will feature swimming. So
they're the swimming partner. Are they even a swimming gear company?
They are.
I knew they did sunglasses, but I didn't know they did.
They wouldn't call it the tier CrossFit Games, so they had to.
Well, that's what I thought first. Was like, wait, Tier didn't want to be your swim partner, and you went with Roka that I didn't know was a swim company. I thought they were just sunglasses.
Dude, Tier owns the swimming. They like
I know
Roka is so low compared to Tier as far as swimming companies go.
All right, here we go. If you guys did not see it, the reel I put out earlier today.
Yeah, swim event this year.
Better pause it, otherwise I'll probably get demonetized. There you go. So there it is. That was the email sent to the athletes, swimwear. And then Roka does sell men's and women's swimwear along with goggles. So
those are cool looking. I guess the goggle part makes sense. Yeah.
So,
dude, I hope it's not. I'm a big fan of their swim workouts whenever they're in a pool and then they go do something else, and then they're in the pool and then they go do something else. I really like those workouts.
Roka is a swim sponsor for Ironman. So there you go.
There we go. I'm not a swim guy. Tier was new for me whenever I got into that. So
can it slap in the face to Tier? I don't think so. Roka, you got to pay to play. Tier is heavily invested in Wadapalooza.
Probably leveraged so much, that it would be hard.
Like now they have SoCal coming up. They have Miami. Like, do you need to go pay to be a official sponsor and provide all that stuff, or do you just get your name out in the CrossFit community by sponsoring everybody to wear their shoes and do Wadapalooza?
Right. That's a good point.
Because it is not Wadapalooza, it is Tier Wadapalooza.
Right. But they do own the market of athletes.
Oh yeah, and
the vast majority, and so it's like who cares?
Yeah. I mean, Tier is definitely taking everything by storm. So
I have heard that the new Tier shoes that just came out, are supposed to be really, really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how I feel about strikes, but
So event predictions. We're not going to give you one event prediction or two. We're going to give you three. So we have the long event. We're going to give you a prediction for the strength event, and then our prediction for the final event. All right. So starting out with the long event, we'll start with Tyler. You told me you were prepared, so we're going to have you start out. What is your prediction?
I'm so prepared. I have two. So I have one that is, if we're going my prediction for the long event is basically it's split between if we stay in the facility in Dickies or if we go outside. Because we have to be.
What are you predicting?
So The inside one, I think it's pretty simple. I think it would be some version of the 333 with machines, and you would just move your machine forward and maybe have the row, ski, and bike or something like that, and you can see the procession of bikes or machines that way. I don't think that's it.
Yeah,
I do too. But there's only I rattled my brain about what you could do indoors, and that was the best I could come up with besides a marathon row, which nobody's going to want to watch.
You can go in and out.
Well, so I think that they're going to go to this Trinity Park trail run in the Trinity Park, which is not very far from the venue. They said they're going to do an outdoor one. The pool doesn't break that rule. So I think, and there's so many trails at this park.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be a long trail run.
Just a single modality trail run.
Yeah.
Okay. John?
All right. Well, now that we move off of that boring event, so for mine, they're going to run in and out of the stadium. They're going to have a back door. It doesn't matter. They'll be running in and out. Okay. I know everybody wants them to do a High Rocks event. Like, people have been calling for the games to have a High Rocks event. And I agree. But I think,
well, I agree. It would be cool, but I don't think it'll.
I'm agreeing with it will never happen is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So what I think would be cool is to put like a little CrossFit spin on it. Okay. So it's not near as long. The running's not near as much. And there's way more modalities in play. It's a full CrossFit test in an endurance event. So it starts with 50 heavy wall balls, 30-20, 50 heavy wall balls, 800-meter run, 10 squat cleans at 275 and 185, 800-meter run, 25 ring muscle ups, 800-meter run, 10 squat cleans, 800-meter run, 50 wall balls. And I think those last 50 done. That's the time. And I think those last 50 wall balls
30-20
are going to be really, really hard to go unbroken. So like if you're in the running, you got to, especially, I think you're smoking your legs the whole time. 10 squat cleans, you're running, and then the 50 wall balls in the beginning that everybody's going to go unbroken. The 25 ring muscle ups are a separator. I think if you're a freaking beast with weights, I think the squat cleans are a separator. Like a 275 is heavy enough that you can't just cycle that easy unless you're really, really, really strong.
This is a fun test.
And then it ends with 50 wall balls. If you can hold on to that unbroken, if you're pushing the pace, I just think those last 50 are going to be really, 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 really hard unless you're like Hopper or Roman. And I did the math on what I thought it would be. I think it'll be like 24 to 30 minutes long.
How many elements were there?
4.
1, 2, 3. There's only 3, and then the run.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? My brain's breaking about this workout is the door is open to the facility and it's hot outside and it's just letting all the cold air out. It's such a stupid thing, but
it might be the morning event.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I just think it's like it's kind of like a High Rocks, but not really. And it's something that none of those people can do. They would be like, this is stupid. This is a heavy like 20 squat cleans with 275, 100 heavy wall balls, 25 ring muscle ups. There are separators everywhere in this. It's not just the run, but it's still 2 miles of running. You know, Danny Spiegel's still going to be last place in this event.
Yeah, because there's not much running. You're going to be running faster.
So, you know what I mean? So, and then that's my long event. I know it's 24 to 30 minutes. It's not super runs. It's not super long, but it's a long event that I would like to see.
So, I went back, and I'm actually kind of going back to 2019 where there wasn't a super long event. I think the ruck run was like 25 minutes. I think the swim and paddle was probably the longest.
Dude, that was like The swim. Oh no, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2019. My bad.
But as I think about this, I could see them playing off of for previous events to some degree, like going back into the history of the CrossFit Games, right? It's a new location.
You don't want everything to be new.
It won't be all new. I think there will be some things that they go back in time and modify, and you might see a little bit of that in my predictions. So my long event, it's probably going to be more in the 20-minute, 25-minute range. They're going to start at the pool that I said. That's a little bit a ways. And it's going to be 10 rounds for time of a 100-meter swim. So down and back on the 50 meters. And 10 burpee bar muscle ups. Then do the 2-mile run to Dickies.
To finish.
Through the zoo, over the river, and to Dickies, and up the steps into the stadium.
Grandmother's house we go.
Oh, that would be awesome. And then the finish line is at the steps.
Yeah. I went back and forth with saying they might do something like the Capitol and have to carry something, but I don't think they would.
Straight endurance test. I love your event, Brian.
So it's not super long, but it's
the idea of swimming and then running to Dickies.
Right.
Even though they're not really doing anything at Dickies. I think that's the cool thing.
And what got me thinking about this is, again, like I started with, you got to get people to Vendor Village, right? And I found a vendor document out there of what they're trying to do to propose to vendors and get them to do stuff. And one of the things is they're going to have plenty of time and reasons to go out to Vendor Village. And I looked at the amount of time that the individuals and teams were on the competition floor last year. Like Thursday, between individuals and teams, they were competing over 8 hours. Right.
So you add up to go to the vendors.
There's no time, right? Like between 9 a.m., like that's straight competition. That doesn't count the breaks between, men and women. Like that's not
essentially you're picking a time slot and saying, all right, between this time, we're just not going to care.
Right. You either have to have one big break, or do something. Friday was over 7 hours. Saturday was almost 7 hours, and Sunday only had 4 hours between individuals and teams. Right, all the short events.
So let's go with your workout, and let's talk about it from we're in the Vendor Village. I'm guessing they want everybody to watch TVs that are in Vendor Village, or just be in Vendor Village and hopefully watch it on screens that are there, right?
Or if you're inside the stadium and you want to stay inside, whichever. Yeah. But there'd be plenty of screens out.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Watch it on the Megatron.
Yeah.
They can run through the
Jumbotron.
Jumbotron.
It's not Megatron is
like, that's wrong.
That's Transformers. Optimus Prime, get out of here.
Yeah, but you could line up as they come into the stadium,
through the RV park.
They could. Yeah. Like it goes right. It would go right past it. Go right past
it. My idea is simple, but it costs less because you don't have to have cameras everywhere. You don't have to have a drone. They're going to have maybe 2 or 3 cameras on the pool, and but then you got to.
You'd have it like the Capitol, right? But my thought is for timing, like you could probably do the first team event at the same time if you really wanted to, like
in the stadium.
Have them finish outside and kind of double up on some of that so that you're not taking up all of the time. So, plus, you'd still have 40 athletes if you do it on Thursday. So you'd have to have several heats, but you could have them do the water, send them off, have a time cap on the water piece of it, and then move on and send the next heat. So they're all kind of coming in staggered throughout the whole time. But it gets a long run in, it gets the swim in. You don't have to shuttle them both ways. You just shuttle them once. And then that's it.
So none of us could come up with a full Dickies only event.
Well, mine kind of is. You just run around the building.
I count that as going. If you go outside, it breaks that.
Okay.
There's no. my estimates, the field of play inside Dickies is about the size of North Park, but without all the extra space around the field.
So no media space, just the field.
Right.
Space.
No. Yeah. Like literally, the line would the stadium stands would come up right to the start of that.
So that's too small for a large.
So what you're
long,
saying
long event.
is Dickies is just too small for your liking.
To do something that's super a long
Not
event
on a row or not. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be too much of a semifinals feel, in my opinion. Patrick Clark. No, it's total size is at max 250 by 120 by 125 or 150. And North Park actually could go, I think it was actually 300 feet, and we're not using the full space when you add in the floor seats. So it's close, and I think it'll be very similar to North Park field, but it will not be bigger.
Boom roasted.
Yes, boom roasted. There you go. All right. Strength event.
John has a thought.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Strength event. John.
I love my strength event. I'm telling y'all right now, like my strength
Me
event.
too.
My strength event is awesome. So my strength event
Hey, John, why don't you start?
is
before we do that, I want to
okay.
address this. Halpin.
oh my god. Oh, okay.
Dave said they can change the layout day to day, so not one field of play.
If it's still inside Dickies, it's one field of play.
It's still one field of play. I question how much they can really change the layout. Right? Like
if you rearrange your room, you don't say, "Oh, I have two bedrooms."
Like the best. I mean, you're not going to be able to build a rig in between event 1 and event 2.
Yeah, Halpin.
Like there's a chance that they could take something down. Right? But I feel like it's going to be much more like a semifinal floor layout where you have a big rig at the end and maybe something is constructed when you show up in the morning and then it disappears if they have a bigger break.
Yeah.
Right. But you're not going to send row guys out there to go construct a pull-up rig in the middle of the floor in an hour. There's no way.
I want to say, unless we do beep test would be a cool event.
Oh, dude, I think that would be trash.
I would love it. I would love making bets on who's going to quit next.
Yeah, but it's basically how do we make the best runner not the best runner?
I mean, one thing I'd always like to say day to day, yes, they're going to be able to change the field between Friday and Saturday, but you're still limited to one competition floor. One thing I've always wanted to see, but they'll never do it because of the elite, the amount of work done between last place and first, is to have some type of elimination event.
Yeah, so I love this idea for a long event, but the problem is it's not long if you're the first one eliminated.
Right.
Like I would love if they just went to a
You
track
need that volume.
and then every 200 meters, they just run everybody. And then every 200 meters, the last place is off. So everybody's sprinting really until I guess you don't want to sprint anymore. And then they're all slow running and then sprinting and then slow running and then sprinting. And you can't just run at your pace because if everybody sprints, you're last. Like it's so trippy. But the pain that the top like 5 are in, and like that, and I did the math on it, that ends at like 4,000 meters. So it's not the end of the world. It's what is that? Like 2.5 miles? That's like 2.5 miles. It's not the end of the world.
But first place or the last place would earn 200 meters.
200 meters.
That's not, yeah.
So I feel like you have to have like a penalty system. So like, yes, you're last place, but if you're last place,
you can't leave until you finish.
You have to do no.
The losers are out. You
have to do 250 burpees. And then second to last place is 240, and then 230, and then 220, and then you just
earn burpees.
Yeah, I guess it would be 200, right? Yeah, so like you would just go down, and then 10 less burpees. Every single person that's eliminated, 10 burpees for 200 meters. It's 40 seconds. That's about right. All right, so like, yeah, and then that person, the last place person, Danny Spiegel. She won't be the last person if it was like that, because she could sprint pretty fast. But their triceps are roasted, right? They're feeling so it would pay to not be last place. Last place is going to be more effed up than first place for sure.
There was.
If there's not a time cap.
I think I sent it to our text group way back when, but there's a rowing competition that does that.
Yes, you totally did.
It was like 20 athletes.
Nurumson or something.
Yeah, the guy that has like the world record for the 500 or something like that. And like every 2 minutes, one person is eliminated.
And it's just the person who's gone the least amount of distance, and then your distance
and it resets it resets every 2 minutes, but you're on a running clock.
So like some guy just kept his own pace, and he's
you
literally
can't bank.
No, you
this
can.
This one you did not. In rowing, you did not. I think
That's
the right way to do it is to
crazy.
bank it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would want to get rewarded for banking it.
Yeah, but no, like literally, but they could see they had the screen, like the Concept 2 screen, and they knew that they could let up if they needed to.
Yeah, hold on. Travis said a good comment. And this was a really fun event. They basically just had a boat that got faster every 20 seconds. The boat got faster. But the time cap was 12 minutes. So like if you could hold, but it was banking. So like Travis Williams was like, I'm just going to hold a 130 until I can't hold a 130 anymore. And then we're just going to
hopefully I can outrun the boat.
We're going to see if we can ride it out. And he freaking did it. He was like, there was like four people that made it, that actually made it. And he was one of them. And like he told Vellner that, and Vellner was like, that is a terrible idea. But like, dude, like you can't fault him for it. But like the boat got faster, just trying not to get caught by the boat. But It was a really cool event, But yeah, the hard thing about that is, I like my burpee idea personally, burpee penalty. And then you're just sitting there humiliated. And I like what Tyler said. Like, there's no time cap. If you want to do 10 burpees and chill, that's cool, but you cannot leave the track.
Yeah. It's like your football coach just looking at you again.
Yeah, you're going to have a
all
judge.
Day long.
You're going to have a judge, and the judge is going to have a counter. And guess what? They're going to no rep you too if your chest doesn't hit the ground. No rep.
An event 2 is going to come in 90 minutes, whether you are done or not. So get it on.
You can't be that mean to him. That's terrible.
I would love that.
Why would you do Africa like that? That's so bad. Africa's like, I don't want to play anymore. Like,
they flash outside to the outside cam. It's like the so-and-so still out there doing burpees.
You got 7 minutes. Finish those last 10 burpees. Get in here. Yeah. All right. Strength event.
All right.
Sorry, John. I want you to go, John. Surprise us, wow us.
So my strength event is 5 minutes, 5-minute cap. Okay. What I want you to imagine is that there are 5 stations, and like you just like it starts at the rig, and then there's a 4th station with an element, and then there's a 3rd station with an element, 2nd station with an element, and then the last station. Okay. So like you're moving down the row.
So kind of like the clean and jerk workout from 2014. 13.
Why would you bring up that one?
Because they were different stations. Each bar was a different station.
Yeah,
but you're talking about
but I'm talking about in the arena. No,
this is a race.
This is a race.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, no, this is for time. No, this is for time. 5-minute time cap. You're just going down the field is all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
All right. So it starts with 5 back squats at 425. 305. Okay. And then you advance to the next station when you're done. 4 weight, and all that's going to be waiting for you is a kettlebell. And it's going to be 4 weighted pistols at 90 and 70. So you got to goblet hold the 90 and goblet hold a 70 and do 4 weighted pistols. Once you do that, you advance to the next station. 3 shoulder to overhead with 150 and 100. You can do it on any arm, whatever you want. You can do all 3 on the same arm if you want. And you might play with the weight. No, that's a dumbbell. It's just a dumbbell waiting for you. It's a different element each station. And 150 and 100, like you can make that heavier. I didn't know what number to put that on, but that's, you figure that out in testing. Something heavy. And then the next one is 2 sandbag cleans. You got to come with the arm off. Okay, the arm's got to be off, right? 2 sandbag cleans at 250 and 200. And then once you get done with that, you have 1 hog toss. Now, you might be asking, what is a hog toss? Well, the pig in 2015 that was very heavy was 560 pounds. It's going to be like a pig, but it's going to be 650 and 465. And it's supposed to be heavy enough that like
some aren't going to be able to do that.
most can't do it.
It's a good thing Taylor's not in it.
Yeah. Taylor wouldn't like this event. but a lot of people would get stuck like that. Your tie break is the time you finish the last station, your last completed station. And I want like 30 people to not be able to do this pig. So like hog. That's why it's called a hog toss. I know it's a little upsetting that Colton's not here because he's an iron hog, but it's the last thing. You just got 5 gigantic, and it'd be like heats of 5 because it's 5 minutes. 5 gigantic hogs that people just are going to sit there and either somebody's going to do it or they can't do it.
They're all just looking at each other like, well, here we are.
Yeah, and it's a 5-minute time cap. And if you do the math on it, like somebody who can just mow through it, like think Jeff Adler or like Guy would mow through this. Like they're looking at 2.5 minutes. Like that. So like you say somebody who takes their time that can do it all. Let's say like Hopper might be able to do it all, but he takes his time. You're looking at 4-ish minutes. So like you're not going to be waiting at the pig forever. Especially the people that can't do the pig, it's probably going to take them other, time to do. I don't think everybody's going to do 5 back squats unbroken at 425 and 305. You know what I mean? And I think some people are going to struggle with a 90-70 weighted pistol. I think people will struggle at every single station, somebody. And it's just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a different element at each station, and it ends with 1 hog toss. You just got to flip this thing 1 time. But it has to be heavy enough that only like 5 to 10 people can. And you'll find that in testing. I said 650, 465 just because that's 190 pounds heavier.
Do you remember what it was at TFX? Was it TFX where we got to flip 1?
No, there wasn't a pig at TFX.
Yeah, I'm wrong. I can't remember where that was.
But 560 was the weight in 2015.
Nick Freegee, 425 would bury plenty of people. No,
but you might not do it unbroken. For instance, like you might do 2 reps and racket, 1 rep racket, 1 rep racket, 1 rep racket.
Africa's out. Sorry.
You're thinking about the weight wrong, Nick. It's 425 is not an accurate representation of what you're actually lifting. That's the entire weight of the pig.
No, he's talking about the back squat.
The back squat. Sorry.
And it's supposed to be, really heavy where like if you can do it unbroken, you have an advantage already. It's not supposed to be something that everybody can just do unbroken. 425 for 5 is hard. That's a lot.
What was Rogue 2 years ago? It was 405.
It was 405.
Yeah.
Some guys aren't going to make it. Do that.
No, they'll make it. It's just going to take a lot of time. Like they'll get capped before they get to the hog.
I would say at least 1 or 2 people don't. They can't.
Maybe 1 or 2 don't.
But those guys are from Africa. That doesn't count. But like
not real.
I want it where you got to be pretty strong just to get to the hog.
Yeah. But the pistol thing's crazy. Like what I like about your event is it's strongman, gymnastics, and then just straightforward barbell strength. Which we don't see. Like we don't see it that way ever. We've never seen an event, I think, like that.
And look, it's a strength event with no Olympic lifting. It's 1 barbell at the start. That's a back squat. And then everything else is just something a little off.
What was the Rogue back squat this past year? Didn't they have a back squat?
It was 405.
Was it 405 again?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was 405 both times.
Tyler, what is your strength event?
I immediately I just went to look at the old events and I was like, so the past couple of years, it's the Olympic total, the sandbag, and then there's also the back 9, which is kind of a strength event. 1 rep max snatch, clean and run, ladder thing. Like, I think they won't do the clean and run one again. I don't see that happening.
No, Dave didn't like how that happened or how it panned out.
I think for sure it's going to be a clean. They're going to do a heavy cleans.
You don't think? Well, they won't go back to the snatch, is what you're saying.
They've snatched the whole year.
I know. And that's the thing. For me, I was like, God, like these events are so like programming wise are so boring because we're essentially doing single modality stuff. You know, I could see some sort of not the Olympic total, but maybe the CrossFit total or something like that come back. I almost hated picking this because it's like you're just going to pick the most basic thing, 1 rep max snatch, something like that. So I'd rather see the Olympic total.
I mean, I thought mine was
the
cool.
CrossFit total. I like your. I would love to go with yours. I don't think they will.
I don't think there's a CrossFit total. Like that's be the 4th.
They've done the CrossFit total 3 times. Yeah, they might do the other total. They could do the other total. They've done that once, and that was in quarterfinals.
Yeah, one of my
John would like that.
One of my thoughts with this is that
it doesn't matter.
You'd still like to watch it.
Yeah, I would post my other total. I for sure would do it at the gym and be like those 3 lifts. I'm not saying I would win, but I'd be really close to winning. Like clean and bench press is like everything. Like that's my best stuff.
The thing I think with this year is as many times, I don't know why I think this, maybe it's just some idea that I've baked in my head, but like they are going to try to do stuff. I think it's the partnership with ESPN. They're going to try to do stuff that people can replicate at home any opportunity they can. And in the strength event, that one's more approachable. You can usually replicate those at home. Besides the sandbag one, because that one's freaking crazy.
You got to think about it though. Like they're on a field that's the size of North Park. I have a hard time believing that they're going to have a single platform for any type of lift.
I don't think they'll do a single platform, but you think to present it in front of people, that's what they would do.
I just don't think it's going to, I don't think it shows well. Like I think it's gonna be something more of a race. Like,
what do you have?
I have a sandbag clean elimination event.
Just so like the one we had a couple years ago
with sandbags though.
Like we had a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
No. He's talking
a race.
Yeah.
A race.
Talking more like
Atlas. So like the tie break.
Like no, like what we did, like what we just did for semifinals, the snatch ladder.
Right.
It'll be a clean. It'll be a
sandbag
clean event,
like an Atlas stones,
but it'll be the elimination style where the field gets down to the top 5 or whatever, and ESPN only shows the final.
And the weights
that'd be cool,
up.
Right? They now know how much people can lift a heavy sandbag. They have that data, and now they can go and figure out what are the 3
speeds,
the 3 segments that they do to get through it.
You think they do more than 3, like 5?
Well, I'm saying the 3 rounds. 3 rounds would be like 5 bags each or whatever, right? But they know how heavy they can get it, so that Guy and Danny can win.
Right. Unless they bobble it.
They could bobble it, dude. That's not a given. I mean, I think Danny. I think it's a given for Danny. But
it just sucks.
Four guys were on 340. Like it's
true.
It's not a given that Guy wins that particular strength workout.
If they program that workout, if you're right, they 100% will do handstand push-ups where it benefits short-armed people. Because if you have short arms in that workout, you're screwed.
Just wait for my final.
Like Patrick Clark, it would be 20 platforms. They could probably do 40 if they really wanted to and fill up the entire floor and have all 40 athletes. But I think it's too much to try to show and follow.
Which is crazy. So think about this. If Dave just started fleshing out programming for the game.
He says he's further ahead than he normally is.
Oh, good. That makes me feel so much better. Like what we're proposing, if you did have those 40 platforms, like you kind of need to have that planned out. That needs to be integrated probably with what you're doing with teams. Can we get this on the field fast enough? Can we get it off the field fast enough? Like that takes, I would want over 2 months of planning.
That's why I don't think there's platforms. I don't think like it's got to be some type of race. I think the elimination style, they can cut to the last 1 or 2 heats right? Or rounds, so that you're not watching everybody go, and it's still exciting going down the floor to do that. So that is my strength event. I do like the idea of doing some type of heavy overhead squat. We've not really seen that yet, but I don't think there's a way at this point to make lifting that fashion work in a big stadium like that.
What
I mean,
if
they
the,
did
what
it.
If what if the strength workout was Robin?
They did the overhead squat in tennis.
So somebody dies.
They did the overhead squat workout in the tennis stadium.
That's what they'll put on ESPN. We'll have 20 bench presses. No racks. No racks.
That would be the one that they would put on ESPN too. Look at all these idiots.
And Laura Horvath takes last place.
Yeah, right.
I get that they've done it at North Park. It was different, right? Like the Coliseum, I feel like everything has to have a Coliseum indoor feel vibe, right? Like North Park, it was out there. It never was that exciting. You were so far away from the lifting like that. Half the people are going to be seeing the back of them lift. Like if you're not close and you're watching them from the back side of them, it's not that exciting, right? Like, right. Like it just, I don't see it.
No rep.
So I'd be surprised if they do some type of big platform thing for this year.
Yeah.
And then the final event.
You first, man.
I'll go first. This one also going back to a previous event, Aeneas, but it is legless Aeneas. So 5-4 pegboards have to be legless. 40 thrusters at the same 85-55 weight. And then 150-foot yoke carry at the heaviest weight that it was last time, 665, 445. So not changing your weight. You don't have to worry about Vellner chasing his plate across the floor.
That's heavy, bro. That's really heavy.
Yeah.
JR would approve of this
That's
workout.
6 years ago. That was in 2018.
I think that's just a yoke workout then. That's heavy enough that like if you make the distance longer, Jeff Adler wins because he's the best.
What did you say? What weight?
The same 665, 445.
Yeah, that's a lot.
No, like they won't be able to move it, Spin. Like, and I mean, like the people, they will, but it'll be literally just whoever's the best at the yoke is going to win that event. Like, like correlated.
Would you rather have it changed to the segments and have it incremental then?
I don't like.
Ooh.
Like you could, I mean, maybe you stick with you do the middle weight. Maybe you do the middle weight that distance.
Yeah,
I'm just saying with 665, it's just a yoke workout. It's not the legless pegboard.
Nothing else matters.
Like you want the legless pegboard to matter. You want the people that can do that the best to like that mean something. It means nothing if it's that heavy of a yoke because all the little gymnastic girls that are going to do that first, they will not be able to move it. Laura Horvath can take her sweet time, or Tia.
they were 1 and 2,
and then they're just gonna. I mean, Danny Spiegel would be third place.
I'm okay. Okay, I'm okay with going lighter, but having I didn't like I rewatched it. I didn't like having to watch them
change their weights.
Change the weights. It stops. It's not as exciting. Like shouldn't be a plate change competition. Like get down the floor with the yoke. So again, if you want to lower it to the second weight, but it has to be all the way down 150 feet, like however long the field is from the thrusters, and then just go for it. And you have a big, long finish to end the games.
I like that. I like the yoke walk part of it. Visually, it'll be appealing. Mine. I'll go ahead.
The legless pegboard did not look good on TV. I don't know. I think these guys now can fly through legless pegboards.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I'll let you wrap it up. I think it's probably going to be like if you look at the historical on closing events, you either have lunges going heavy. you either have lunges or you have thrusters. So it's like we had the Echo Thruster, Jackie Pro, row pull-ups, lunges, and the standard over the past few years. I really liked that wall walk workout that Mal beat Tia in. And so I could see them throw, and it's like, it's sort of the same thing. It's got that excitement of, you know, people were moving down in procession. Now there's the whole thing of, can they get that many stands up? Maybe, maybe not. But I think like maybe 10 down to 1 of thrusters, row, or ski and wall walks.
I don't like the machine to end it.
Of course you don't.
I hate the machines.
The wall walks on the last event.
I like it because people are just going to like, they're going to sell their soul and they're going to die. And you're just going to be like, it's going to be the same thing as the lunges.
That's a grind though. It's not a race. That's who can, I mean, that's a workout.
Yeah. I think it has to be very quick.
I mean, that's a workout.
No, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Usually we have a shorter one to finish.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the numbers. I think you're right. It should fit in some sort of time domain that's short.
I mean, the standard was fairly long.
Yeah. But I think we could see wall walks at the end. It matches well with thrusters. And then I was like, we got to throw a machine in there just to break up the
excitement.
The interference between those two things. Also, those are both short people movements. So row.
John?
All right. I want y'all to picture this, okay? Laura Horvath is second place. Okay.
300 points behind Tia.
She's yeah. No, don't worry about where Tia's at. Laura Horvath is second place. Third place is Emma Lawson, 90 points behind Laura. Fourth place is Alexis Raptis at 97 points behind Laura. Okay.
If this is true,
it, Tyler.
They have to hold this to the last day. No announcement to the last day.
I'm trying to announce this workout, please. This is the final. This is the final. Alexis Raptors in fourth place, 97 points behind Laura. 90 points behind Laura is Emma Lawson in third. Tia's, winning. The final is a 30-24 cow ski, 40 kipping handstand push-ups, 30-24 cow row, 30 strict handstand push-ups, 30-20. And then at this point, they move down the field to a bike, and then there's a second wall that they somehow do. 30-24 cow bike, 20 parallel handstand push-ups.
It's over right there.
With an ab mat. So with one ab mat, parallel handstand push-ups, that's the depth. Into, so like you finish that.
We're not done.
Into a double overhead kettlebell lunge, 150 feet, just like much longer than they normally do it, but with 53 and 35s. It's not super heavy, but you are shot, especially the people that went for it. This is a handstand push-up workout, but 90 cals on machines. You know what I mean? So if you're good at handstand push-ups and you're a bigger guy, you're going to crush this, right? But 40 kipping, 30 strict, 20 parallel handstand push-ups, double overhead kettlebell lunge to finish it.
I think that double overhand kettlebell lunge is an overkill. The only thing I would change that to handstand walk, because you're like, some people aren't going to be able to stay like upright.
Well, I figured they'll have a handstand walk event.
Maybe, but I do like this whole scenario you sold us. So, and then okay, he says this, dude, I don't think it's going to be that long. Think Fibonacci final. Each machine is going to be 1.5 minutes, 1 to 1.5 minutes. Okay. Especially Roman's going to take that ski out and do it in 1 minute, 1 to 1.5 minutes. How many is the first, what's the first?
Everything's 30.
30.
30.
No. Yeah. 30 cows on the machines for the guys, 24 for the girls.
But what's the first pressing movement?
A kipping handstand push-ups. 40 kipping handstand push-ups. If you break them, you're probably smart, but still that's done in 30 seconds.
Fast.
Right? 30 strict is done in a minute. And then 20 parallettes probably takes, a minute and a half. But if you're great, that's where you make your move.
Right.
And then the lunge is a minute. It's 7 to 10 minutes.
I like this.
And
I like the hell out of that.
Yeah, it's at 7. It's so much shorter than y'all think. You just think it's long because you can't do it. I promise you. I promise you.
I know I can't do it.
For these
And at that point,
for these athletes, 7 to 10. It's a 7 to 10 minute workout.
At that point, there's only going to be 20 athletes anyway, so it's not like we're going to have to watch multiple heats.
Right.
You could have one heat probably.
Right.
And like if you think it's too long, then you can make it 30, 20, 10. Yeah, 30, 20, 10, the handstand push-ups. And then they are going unbroken. 30, 20, 10, they're going people are going unbroken, and I think you're stupid if you do, because the 10 parallel handstand push-ups, deep parallettes, whenever your triceps are blown,
Impossible.
They become impossible. You're going to be failure city. And I think back to 2015 when Matt was failing left and right in the parallettes, and then Sarah was failing left and right in the parallettes. I remember that so distinctly. Like, that's the reason they lost, were those handstand push-ups. And it's not like a gimmick, right? Okay, and now you remember the frame the picture I painted for you guys. Okay. Can Laura Horvath get through 20 parallettes at the end of this? Can she not get last place? Again, 20 people. I
mean,
20 people. It's not 40. It's not 40. It's 20 people. Does Alexis Raptis win this workout and claim third place? Because Emma Lawson got third in the workout. So
I don't think it's obvious that Alexis wins. I know she's a world-class presser, but
honestly,
things get weird.
Tia probably wins. Tia probably still wins because this is a fitness workout. The machines matter, but Alexis Raptis is a home run for her.
But Alexis could make, the thing I think with Alexis is, does she go out too confident, press when she shouldn't, and blow up and just get stuck on the last set of handstand push-ups, and then just sit there and look at the dumbbells?
No,
yeah, and again, and if they test it and it's too long, then just go 30, 20, 10. It's still going to have the same effect. I like the 30 cows though, because the bigger guys the bigger guys and girls, they're already going to be. It's just a short person's workout. Without that, this is a total all-around person. If you're big and you can do the handstand push-ups, or if you're small and you can machine really good, those you should win. You know what I mean? You're great. You should win.
I would say you could make up if you're good at pressing, you can make your time up on the press. Anything you lost from the machines
on the parallettes, 100%. But if like Roman or Hopper goes 6'4" and just takes like a 10-second break, you didn't make up that much time,
right?
And then the double kettlebell overhead lunge, it's a longer than we think. And I want y'all to think about the Fibonacci final.
How far?
That was 90 feet. The Fibonacci final, correct?
Yeah.
That was 90 feet. This is going to be 150 feet.
Yeah.
Right. So and Matt didn't go unbroken. Nobody went I think Fikowski went unbroken, but I think he was one of the only ones.
No one's going unbroken with this.
No, nobody is going unbroken with this. They're all going to be breaking up the lunges.
Just looking at each other.
Yeah. And it's going to come down. Who can hold them the longest? And so many people are going to go for it. And I think that is what you want. That's what we had in the last semifinal workout. That's what we want.
That weird looking
Or the Bellner like wide arm thing where it's just like holding like that.
So there you go. There's our event predictions. If you want to hear more, tune in. I think it's Friday. Get with the programming. J.R. Howell joins Chase and Bill. They're sharing 4 things they want to see at the CrossFit Games. All right, moving on. It is time for some blind rankings. All right, we're going to be quick. We're running late.
We are running late. That's all right.
We'll be quick.
All right, here we go. Blind rankings presented by Manta Sleep. Use code SPIN. Get 10% off mantasleep.com. Who will be most likely to be
at the games?
At the games, the most improved. So the most improved award will go to which athlete?
So this can't be a rookie. No rookies.
Not a rookie.
Okay. Returning
so
athlete.
Half the women's field
Well, I'm
It's
just
not allowed.
gonna think back to what whatever name you pop up. It'll be fine.
All right, here we go. First one,
Donut.
Abigail Donut.
Number one.
Oh man, I don't want to put number one out the gate.
Do it. Freaking do it, you coward.
I say number two.
Why? You have no reason.
No, because Luke Parker's about to go top 10, man. You heard him.
I
have faith in Luke Parker. Anyway,
No,
let's just think. Let's just think.
She was like what'd she get? Dude, there's no way she's not in the top 10 this year.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of people like James Sprague. James Sprague was 25th. He legitimately can be top 10.
I don't think so.
Dude, I think so, man.
I think he's going to be around 12th to 15th.
What about Hopper? Hopper's going to go 31st to 7th.
Well, okay, hold on. Because Hopper's weird because it's like he's got the 7th, but technically,
listen, we are calling most improved from last year.
Well, shit, then it's Hopper. I'm gonna say Abby's second.
I think that's what we do. I think
John just weaseled his way around till he got what he wanted.
Going second?
He just looked for let's go to. Hopper's not gonna be in here. God.
All right, next one. James Sprague.
I will put him third.
Yeah,
although
third.
I think James I think is going to be. I would put him second, but I'll cave to Tyler's Abigail.
All right, here we go. Most improved 2024, Elisa Fuliano.
I don't care.
It's almost a 4 or 5, not because I don't think she's great, but because it's just.
Dude, she was 20th last year. I think she gets exactly like that. So I would say 5th.
Yeah, 5th.
And if you're around 20th again, you did not improve.
Yeah.
If you got
she
20th
barely made semifinals, man.
She improved.
If it wasn't for her crazy snatch event, she would have been in danger of not making semifinals. Not making the games.
She will have improved in that the field is better this year than it was last year. And the fact that she makes it into the top 20 is more impressive than it was last year. That's what he was doing on the back end. He's like, yes, got it.
Hold on. Get off of the crack, Patrick. This is bad. This is bad. This is worse than saying Saxon was going to win the semifinal. I know you didn't say that. You said Abigail.
All right. Most improved, Caroline Stanley.
Oh, no. We screwed up.
4th.
Yeah, 4. I would have put Alyssa over her.
She was 27th. She was 27th last year. I honestly think we're okay.
Tia was talking her up in some of their
You're
videos.
right. Tia Toomey should be number 1. She went not making the games to going to win the
That's
game.
a good point.
And the last one.
We're really screwed if Hopper is.
It is not Hopper.
We might have messed
Oh,
It is not Hopper. But it's Luke Parker.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, he should have gone Domit.
I think
Sprague,
Luke Parker. Yeah. We should went Domit, Sprague, and Luke. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
These were all athletes.
It's my fault.
20th to 29th, so they did not miss. They're all kind of in the same ballpark.
I legitimately think we have it right. Other than Luke should be, I would put Domit first, and then James Sprague, and then Luke Parker. That's how I would say. I could see Luke Parker being top 15 this year, but I could see James being top 10. And when I say top 10, I mean 10th. Okay, I don't mean 7th. But I'm with Domit. Domit is I can't say a bad girl, but she
really improved.
She is a bad girl. Yeah. She is a misbehaved woman.
Young lady.
There you have it. There is blind rankings most improved. 20.
That one was hard. That was a mental one.
Yeah, it was. I hate doing number 1 first. You know what I mean?
Spin knows that.
That's right.
He plots us against each other.
You gotta.
I don't think it's a bad list. I know we messed up number one.
I mean, Luke could do it.
And
he has room.
We do think he's going to be better.
Right. All right. Tyler, before we get into Heat 1 World Cup, I want to share.
Oh, great picture.
What you
great, phenomenal thumbnail.
That thumbnail really sums up the idea of the whole thing.
Great picture.
So if you didn't catch it, this afternoon, Tyler had an idea. It was press conference number 3 on the Heat 1 app.
I've actually been working on this for 3 days.
He's news.
All right, I better start over. Here we go.
All right, press conference time.
He's news.
Gossip, rumors, panic in the streets. We're lucky.
So check it out. I was talking to somebody you would call a major stakeholder in the European region. We were talking about the tribalism of Europe. We were talking about how that differs from North America East, North America West. Obviously, me being the East, that's one I cared about. Though the syndicate was great and probably the best semifinal that there's been in years, it was still lacking that feel. The SEC kind of feel, the Big Ten kind of feel. I love this team. We have no teams.
They had nothing, no fire, no energy, no nothing. You know I have a shoulder right here, you know? And it must pop, pop, pop.
Over there, they have their country that they're rooting for. And then I noticed something. Check this out. None of the top athletes in the East are even from the East. You have Toomey, Jeff, Emma, and Roman. I want representatives from my friggin' region. I'm from the SEC. That's how I feel about these things. Like, I want to represent my team. I want to buy that freaking jersey. Then I thought, if I'm Jason Hopper, or if I'm Alexis Raptis, or Haley, or Dallin, I want to represent the East. We'll include Dallin, but he has a little bit of a redneck accent. Those are our real East representatives, right? Let's come up with the name for them. You guys comment the name that you think we should call the real East team. Maybe for the West, we have Medeiros, Gazan, Sprague, and Lowen. And some of you might say, well, where's Pat? Pat's from the West, but like Sprague feels like a real representative of the West to me. That's better. That'd be great to root on. You know, little side bets. Yeah, you can pull for which athlete you think is going to be the major winner. I want to wear that jersey. I want to represent the East. I want to represent the Southeast, more importantly, but I want to represent the East. I want to nominate myself as the coach for the real East. We'll put John Young as a real coach for the West, and we'll draft 6 players. We still need a coach for Europe. Probably need a world team, maybe Oceania team. Probably just make that Kiefer, since he's the underdogs coach and they own Oceania. Anyway, draft 6 players, and then during the games, we'll play them. We'll figure out which ones we want to play, and we'll see who wins. I like that so much better than teams. I like those screenshots. That's the pre-release version of the Heat 1 app. I want to remind you to download because there's going to be $10,000 up for grabs.
The Heat 1 app.
It all starts here.
There it is. All right, Tyler.
Okay. Looks like a Catholic priest shirt from far away.
Yeah, you got the little mic, the white mic
I see
on the black shirt.
Squint one eye. Yeah, so the whole point of this for me is that, like, there's
rivalries.
I want rivalries. I want to be proud of the people that I'm sending from the East. When you say the East, you just mean this blob of mass that we don't really give a shit about.
Like a melting pot. That's not what America stands for.
No, I kept thinking about the semifinals, and I was like, yeah, like Europe is tied to its country. That's essentially a state, right? And we don't have that sort of representation over here. Like we do, but no one gets behind that because
it goes to Kathy Stan's thing in viewer comments. All she cares and roots for is Australia.
Yeah.
Yes. And
that's
Jay
why Tia should be in Oceania.
Mm-hmm. I've always felt weird that Tia wasn't a representative of Oceania.
I really think the right way to go about it, I know Spin thinks it's going to be confusing. I think you just go citizenship. People will understand.
Well, that's
Roman is from Russia. We know he's from Russia.
Yeah, no,
His
he's
last
from
name
Mayhem.
is Krennikov.
He's from Mayhem. Dude, so that's the thing. Like, so
Although,
when I
hey,
say
I
we're
do
going
want
to
to
pick
say,
players,
listen, Austin Hatfield is from West Virginia. I think I should have him.
there it is. There's that really weak argument. Damn, I figured you could have come up with something better.
Also, Dallin's from Utah. I think.
I know. Well,
That's where it gets
okay,
tricky.
let's get into the rules of this. So here's what I want to do. Basically, we need to find so we need Canada for sure. I pissed Jeff off about that. Fair enough. I think Canada should get its own region. John made that case. I think Oceania or the world, I think we should just give the world its own region, but that's scary because Roman, Ricky, Jay.
No, that's why Oceania has to be its own region.
Oceania has to be its own.
They don't have enough.
Okay.
They don't have. That's only 4 each.
No, Tia's on there too.
I feel bad
they
for
need
the world.
6. Then. So they need 3 men and 3 women. I think that's what we do.
They're 3 women, or maybe Maddie Sturt, Grace, and then
exactly.
No, that's fine.
That's my point.
The West doesn't have much people either.
The top 3 women in the West will beat.
Yeah, and then Tia. They have Tia, Maddie Sturt, Grace Walton. That is a phenomenal 3.
It
what
is a great team.
And then they have Ricky J. Bailey. That's Oceania. Mm-hmm. That is great.
That's a monster team.
You're on crack right now, Spin. Tia, Grace, and Maddie Sturt. You're gonna tell me that's a
monster team, dude.
It's better than the West. I'm rocking with the Oakland A's right here. All right, I'm cheering for us, West. I'm cheering for us. I'm just saying, we got
coaching.
We got
coaching matters. Coaching matters.
Listen, y'all got the best coach. Don't worry about it. But we got to step it up because we're underdogs. No,
that's what we need to do. We need to have these pep talks.
John,
we are underdogs. For this team. Listen, guys, I know you're trying to get some money, but you need to do this for the team.
Justin, I know we've had bad times, and I know this coach athlete doesn't always see eye to eye. We got to just pull it together, okay, for the team.
And they will once they have a jersey. See, once they put that jersey on, that West jersey, they're gonna be like, "Yeah,
fair.
I got to do this."
Some of my teammates hate me. That's not.
It doesn't matter which region you go to, though, John.
Well, when I was putting that video together, there was some clip I was trying to think of, and it's like, "Oh yeah, they'll hate that." Like you being coach, some of them will, but that's what's great about it. I don't think a lot of people like Bill Belichick.
I feel like more people from the East like me than the West. People like me more, like Hatfield, Hopper. Like these people are all the East people.
And so, like, people got pissed at me in the comments. Like Emma, and Jeff are from the East, and it's like they're like, yeah. If you do the stupid line from the Mississippi, they're Canadian. I don't feel any tie to them whatsoever.
And they should want a Canada team. This is the problem with Canada. Y'all have no pride for your country. Come on.
I mean, if you go back to the North America East prediction show with Travis, every pick of his was a Canadian.
Yeah, dude. And like Canada's team. Hold on. Hey.
So I'm trying to harken back to that when the Central East, but it's like we don't have something so focused that we can just do the Central East, but I want to do the East, and I want to do the East that I know. Friggin' New York down to like Florida.
And Canada probably will have the best team if we really put it on paper.
It has one of the best
teams.
Canada
probably, I did not think Oceania was going to be that good until I wrote them out. But like that team Oceania's really good. If you're shooting 3-3, because Tia's Oceania. Tia makes the team like crazy good. They have both the CrossFit champions.
Right. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll have 6 players, 3 men, 3 women each. This is just fantasy.
Yeah, and then Roman is Kobe Bryant in 2012.
Then we'll pick ones that we want to play, and we'll get their points. You get to watch that. Yes, for each event, we'll pick the ones and you'll get to play. And then I also have like some fun like penalties and challenge cards that we can use so we can screw with the other teams.
And that's where I'm going to have to come clutch. I'm going to have to be able to use my power-ups like in the right spots. Like what we're going to have is we're going to have certain things where like if we play a person, they get double points. And we each have like 3 power-ups. And we have 3 power-ups.
One's a penalty box. One's a penalty box where you can't. If I pick a player, you can't play them.
I can veto it.
Maybe.
Well, no, that's what you're saying. Like I can veto him playing that person.
Yeah,
one of your
yeah.
picks.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought you were saying. You veto my penalty. I was like,
No,
that's not how that works.
Like, nope, can't play.
No.
You can't play Hopper for this
The
one.
world is got zero chance without Oceana.
No, they have Roman. They have zero chance. No, Oceana. It would just be Oceana.
You're not. We need to make
It
the
would
rule that you
just be
can't
Oceania.
play. You can't play.
Literally, would play
every
Roman
play.
every single time.
Yeah.
You can't play Roman every
we'll
time.
We'll make a
it's
rule where
over.
you can only. Yeah, we'll make a rule where you have limited time to play. Listen, the world should they're the worst team. It's okay to have the worst.
They should
team.
always lose.
No, they are.
The Browns are going to lose, dude. The Browns are going to lose.
We always have to have a Browns.
No, I think it needs to be the world's.
No, don't.
We just don't
then
include
you would
the world.
Play Oceania.
You only get to pick
Roman.
3.
The world would be the best team then. The world shouldn't be the best team.
You throw in Tia with who?
You're saying because it's limited. Yeah, you got a limited budget, so to speak. You only have 3 players.
You don't get Roman, Ricky, Bailey,
and Jay.
You have to pick 3. You got to pick between the 4 of those.
Yeah,
and you don't get Gee.
Yeah, you have the best team though. You have the best runner.
Do you though?
On paper, you do.
100%.
But you can be outmanaged.
Any strength event, you pick Gee. Any grind event, you pick Roman. Any machine event, you pick Roman. Any event, if you don't know, you pick Tia. Like, yes, you have the best team if you include Oceania. Australia would want their own team. They would be offended that Australia probably has the most pride out of any country out of all of us.
Well, Asia doesn't
Tyler
really.
loves the South. I've only lived here a year, but I will represent Texas.
I love it. I love the West.
With my heart, I will represent the West. You know, Australia wants their own team, Brian.
They do not. They. It's not fair to the world. The world needs to have a chance.
I don't care about the world. I care about North
this is
West.
our.
You don't even have a world team.
Well, you're not. You're not a part of. Yeah, this is Tyler's act. Okay, this is what we're doing. So you can either get on board, Brian, or you can pick a different show to put it.
So we need to do a couple things. We need to find coaches, and then I want some jerseys. At least if we have them, and that's all that matters. That's fine. But I would like to sell them because I think it'd be freaking cool to have those every year, and we nominate players every year to be on our team.
Gosh, I just thought of something. I'm upset now.
What?
Danny Spiegel's on my team. That's terrible.
You don't have to pick her. You only have to pick 3 women.
I'm gonna pick her, dude. She's gonna win every strength event. She's my strength girl.
Hey, you don't have to like everybody on your team.
I get it. I got Danny Spiegel and Justin Medeiros. This is what y'all are giving me.
They're gonna bomb event just for
Colton. Colton, I am so pissed that you didn't make the games, man. You would have made this great for me. And now look at me. Got this ragtag group of misfits and not even gonna give me Dallin.
So there you go. Heat 1 World Cup. Questions, comments, concerns?
Keep an eye out for it.
Well,
There's still some stuff.
Do you want to pick a coach for Oceania?
No. We'll figure that out next week, and we'll give people a chance.
I think
we'll give people an update. I think my one rule is that you have to go to the games.
So Travis can't be a
candidate. Go to the games.
He can't get off work.
I don't care. Go to the games.
He has 55 days to figure it out.
Yeah, we have time.
We're gonna pay
There's
for
a
him?
chance. I will figure it out.
Okay.
There you go.
Are we gonna have a prize for the winning team?
Ooh. Tune in next week.
We should get like a crazy trophy with like the team's names on them.
An actual cup.
Yeah,
but it's like,
cup. And then like you just put the team name on it that won it, and then we'll see who. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Those things are.
Don't they do that with the Stanley Cup? Don't they put the names on them? Like every
for all the big ones they do. Even the affiliate cup does it.
The Super Bowl doesn't have that.
Let's get one of those. Let's get one of those rogue cups that are super heavy.
Dear Bill and Katie.
Yeah, dear Bill and Katie.
I'm super down. Do we have any people that we're gonna be like, this person's west, this person's east?
What do you mean?
Like, I think Dallin should be in the west.
Of course you do.
He's from Utah.
No, sorry.
You already have Hopper. They're the same guy. Just
You got Cole Sager, you got Cole Grieshaber.
trades.
You're good.
honestly, Oceania is the best team. It's
It is.
ridiculous that you want them to be on the world.
I do.
It's the wrong way to look at it. The world should be the worst.
So, of our fans out there in Australia, somebody mock up a jersey and we'll print that for Australia. We'll get to work on our jerseys. John, you better come up with a team name. Can't be stupid.
West Side winners.
That's really bad.
That's
We'll figure it out. I gotta get in touch with some people. I'll have James will help me out.
there you go.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining tonight. Event predictions. We'll see how close we are. I still think Amanda will be programmed in some capacity.
You're still holding on to that
I'm
hope.
still
huh?
holding on to that. I think that'll still be there. But until next week, bye-bye.